After spending 4 decades working my cattle ranch, I thought nothing could surprise me anymore. Floods, wild coyotes, even city folks burying their SUVs in the mud, seen it all. But nothing hit me like coming back from Denver to find a heavy padlock clamped on my own gate, like my land had turned into a state prison overnight. And there she stood, a young woman in a crisp beige blazer, face flushed with pride, twirling a key like she'd just claimed my ranch for her empire. "You're no longer allowed through," she snapped, thrusting a stack of documents at me. "This road belongs to us now. So do the rules." That's how my peaceful Thursday afternoon turned into an all-out standoff with an HOA president who believed she could exile me from my own property. Let me rewind. My name's Earl. After spending 3 days in Denver with my daughter and grandkids, I was craving a slow, quiet drive home, maybe catching the sun setting behind the peaks. My neighbor Jake was on cattle duty, so I wasn't worried. But when I rolled up to my old dirt road and saw a brand new industrial padlock on my gate, I froze. This wasn't a mistake, it was an ambush. There I was, boots dusty, cowboy hat snug, feeling like an extra in a corporate commercial. She, on the other hand, looked like she was late for a board meeting. High heels and all, probably thought a Starbucks would pop up in the pasture. "That's my gate you've locked," I said, keeping my voice steady. "My cattle need that road." She glanced me up and down, curling her nose like I was the trespasser. "You must be Earl Withers," she said smugly. "Erica Langford, president of the Willow Creek HOA. Starting today, you're banned from this road. You've been trespassing for years." You can imagine my blood pressure. I'd been using that road for 40 years, decades before their HOA was even a bad idea in someone's notebook. I reached for my bolt cutters, and Erica's face turned redder than a traffic light. She started screaming about calling the sheriff. "Cut that lock, and you're going to jail." That's when it hit me. This wasn't about property lines. This was about a power trip, someone who'd gotten a taste of authority and wanted to swing it around. I could have snapped that lock then and there, but I've learned that sometimes, you win bigger by stepping back and striking smarter. So, I holstered my cutters, turned my truck around, and drove the long way home, 8 extra miles of rocky paths and wasted fuel. But as I bumped along, it gnawed at me. Erica wasn't just a pushy HOA president. She was prepared, too ready. Something else was brewing. That night, instead of fuming, I rang up Miles, an old buddy who's a land rights lawyer and a bulldog when it comes to property disputes. "Earl, it's midnight," he grunted. I laid out the story, and he replied, "Give me till morning." By sunrise, he called back, chuckling. "Earl, you're gonna love this. That road's more public than Main Street. County never signed it over to the HOA. They have no legal leg to stand on." Armed with that news, I took a slow stroll down the disputed path, fingers brushing the brand new, HOA property, "Do not enter" signs. You could practically hear the smugness radiating from the metal. Next morning, I rolled up to my gate. Erica was already there, phone up, ready to film her moment of victory. I didn't give her the satisfaction. Snipped the lock clean, swung my gate open, and said, "Ma'am, the only crime happening here is you blocking a public road. Have a wonderful day." Did she back down? Not even close. By lunchtime, 3 new locks were on my gate, and she'd hired a private security guard, $200 a day, sitting right there. That's nearly $6,000 a month, and with 47 families in that HOA, that's about $150 per household, just to keep me out. I knew it wouldn't take long for the neighbors to notice. Sure enough, 2 days later, my phone buzzed. Hank Barrett, a quiet accountant who lived 3 houses down, called. "Earl, what's this about security fees? Our dues are skyrocketing." Then came Doris Kellerman, 75 years young and sharper than a tack. "Earl, folks are whispering. Emergency HOA meeting tomorrow night. You need to be there." That meeting was a circus. Erica standing up front with her PowerPoint, spinning tales about how I was a menace to property values, safety, you name it. Hank cut her off mid-sentence. "Why are we spending $6,000 a month on security without a community vote?" Dead silence. I stood up and laid out the cold, hard math, security, legal fees, the whole shebang, amounting to a $300 fee hike per family. That was the tipping point. The room erupted, shouts for records, demands for votes of no confidence. Erica cracked. She barked at the room, "If you don't like my leadership, maybe you should find somewhere else to live." That silence, pure, heavy silence, That's what it sounds like when a leader loses every ounce of their power. Then Doris, calm as ever, stood up and said, "Young lady, I was here before your HOA, before your subdivisions, before you were born. If anyone's leaving, it's folks who think they can rewrite history." Driving home that night, it hit me. Erica had lit her own fuse, and I was holding the match. With Miles's help, I filed a petition to the county, documenting every pothole I'd filled, every snowdrift I'd cleared for 40 years, to have me named official maintenance authority of that road. 3 weeks later, the county clerk called, petition granted. The sign went up. Park Road, maintained by Earl Withers, authorized vehicles only. Erica showed up fuming, accusing me of theft. I calmly handed her the county documents. "Ma'am, I'm now collecting road usage fees, $5 per trip for non-adjacent properties." The security guard left that same afternoon. Neighbors started calling, not just locals, but a Denver reporter, even Erica's boss from Westfield Development, who had no clue she was moonlighting as a wannabe sheriff. Things snowballed fast. The Denver Post ran a front-page story. Doris's videos of the meeting went viral. Erica's name was suddenly infamous, for all the wrong reasons. Then, one night, someone cut my fences, left my gates open, dangerous, costly, and a felony offense. My cameras caught it all. Erica herself, slamming on my mailbox, screaming, "I am the HOA." Police picked her up at the next HOA meeting. That arrest video, Willow Creek couldn't stop talking about it. With Erica gone, the community started digging through HOA finances. Turns out, she'd been spending dues on personal expenses, lawyers, private security, total misuse. By the next meeting, she was booted out. Hank was voted interim president. I had every right to enforce road fees, but instead, I offered a deal, public apologies and support, and I'd waive the fees. Nearly every family agreed. Erica, though, was now facing real criminal charges. Still, sometimes winning isn't about crushing someone, it's about helping them learn. I stood up and said I'd drop my lawsuits if Erica agreed to work on my ranch for 6 months unpaid. Teach her what real responsibility looks like. She accepted. It was rough. Her designer jeans didn't survive the first week, and a rainstorm almost sent her home for good. But slowly, she learned, feeding cattle, mending fences, understanding that authority means service, not power trips. One July afternoon, one of my prized bulls got tangled in barbed wire. Erica didn't hesitate. She jumped in the truck, helped me cut him free, rushed him to the vet, probably saved his life. That day, I knew she finally understood. Access isn't about entitlement, it's about responsibility. As her time came to an end, she told me she'd been offered a position with the Colorado Agricultural Preservation Trust, working to protect farmland from the kind of corporate overreach her old company used to push. The day she left, the whole community gathered, a potluck, a cake, speeches about second chances. Erica handed me a check, the money she'd saved during her time on the ranch. I smiled and told her, "You've already paid. Help others avoid these mistakes, that's worth far more." 6 months later, a postcard arrived from Denver. A photo of Erica standing next to a sign, "Henderson Ranch, Protected Agricultural Land." On the back, she'd written, "Thanks to you, I learned real power is helping, not controlling." Now, every time I drive past my open gate, the road stretching free ahead, I remember, sometimes the longest detour leads you right home. So, let me ask you, have you ever faced a power-hungry HOA or been denied access to what's rightfully yours? Did I go too soft on Erica, or is there more strength in offering redemption? Share your stories. Let's talk about justice, authority, and what community really means.